Now, I know that there's an awful lot of you out there that know how to translate this through experience, because that's how we learn. It's through experience, right? That's your feedback. So it came to me while I was listening to a video. I probably ought to do a video on this, but I know that the information that I communicate through a lot of the videos that I've done, the information sort of much communicates that and translate that. And this has to do with what we call lies. Okay. And so I always go back to my childhood. So I have to make some notes to myself, because the amount of what I process as cellular processors is moving so fast, it's ridiculous. So when it comes to me to want to share it, if I don't write it down, it's gone. It's just gone. See ya. Because of the speed at which I move when you're running, when you're mated. So I do a dance with a girl. So I'm the seed and the flower, the first one, the first Adam seed. That's why my signet is magnetic 0. That's 0 errors. So when I was a child and people would argue over, this is right, this is not true, this is not true, I'm just going, please, duct tape. I'm not going to argue with you. Okay? I do not compete over what's true or what's not true. That's Fortran. I'm 0. I run a high-speed processor that makes 0 errors. Okay? That's 0 errors. That's Crystal Sophia, founder's language mathematics. So I'm not about to argue with you. Okay? I don't have the luxury of time to argue with people over what's true and what's not true. There's your journey, there's my journey. Have a beautiful day. I love you all. Okay? Because I got a job to do. So I can't allow other units of energy that are going to slow me down because they want to argue over the truth. So the way that I always simply, you can believe whatever you want to believe because that's your journey. If you're experiencing something and then you share it with somebody else, now I'm aware of what you're aware of. That's all it is. That's the beauty of being magnetic 0, is you're neutral, which is neutral gender, which means you collapsed, as they say, the function, the math function. I'm experiencing 0. Nothing's happened yet. The void, the still point of the first star, the still point of the first central union, Grand Central Station, union, the point of all union. First creation sphere is absolute pure eternal love, which is the eternal flame of Adama. I experienced the first flame. That's a blast furnace. I'm a blast furnace. Brrr, see it. Right? So we don't like anything to slow us down, which means that's why we don't hold on to one electron. Because the one doesn't hold on to any electrons. It doesn't hold on to itself. It's naturally spinning at the highest rate of speed, so there's equal distribution of all the energy that you could possibly need. That means there's enough of everything for everyone to not have to go without, which means they're not losing any energy. Okay, so what happens is that I found out when I was a child, because I know this. See, you're not going to hurt me. No matter what you do, you're not going to put my fire out. So if I truly believe what it is that I am, which is an eternal being, which is the eternal spirit of fire, which is the eternal absolute pure love, and I believe that that's what I am because that's my station of identity, then I know that you can never put that fire out no matter what you do to me, because I will always love you. So I had to go through all this as a child. You're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a teacher, and I got to believe that everything that you're telling me is what you believe is true. But that doesn't mean I got to believe it's true. Because I know what I am, which is what love is. Right? But I trust you because I trust me. Because you are everything I am gifting love to. So if it's true that that's true, which is what I am, which is what love is, then everything that is in my mirror, which is what you are, which is what love is, which means you're not going to harm me, which means I'm not going to harm myself. Of everything I'm giving love to. Because I'm on fire. That's spiritual immunity. Because I'm experiencing the one, the first flame. Okay? So I noticed myself through life because of the programming, because as a child, I remember I'm going to allow myself to be programmed in a language that is not the original language. But in order for me to be able to communicate in the future, because I already know that I got a future because I wrote my own timeline. But more people were programmed to speak the English language, so I can use the English language in the future to communicate to them who it is that I am by what I've learned, that we can all relate to, in order to better understand the terrain that we're operating in now over time-space vectors. The changes that are taking place as a result of the work that's been done. Yeah, so we're a universal service organization. Ever heard of the legend of King Arthur? That's us. The Aurora Roundtables? Yeah, how to operate a Merkaba vehicle, write it an engineering manual, right? And how to operate one properly. What it means to be fully integrated, to experience perfect balance. Being able to go, in other words, you're a self-generating vehicle. Well, I can take this anywhere. You're everywhere at once, where you want to go. Well, I can experience all of it. Yeah, now you're on fire. So when it comes to lives, I keep it very simple, okay? It's not the messenger, it's the information, which is electric in form, electric language, electric codes, electric frequencies, just like a programmable radio, right? Like RFID chips, radio frequency identity. What is your radio frequency identity? I'm 0. Nothing's happened yet. Well, the speed at which, phasing speed. Yes. There must be an artist in you somewhere. That's correct. An original artist. That means we run at the highest rate of raw speed. Now you're free. Now your spirit is free. That's eternal spirit of fire with eternal spirit of absolute love. Right? So in other words, if you're telling me something that I find out later wasn't the truth, right? Then all it means is what you were communicating to me of what you were aware of. Now I'm aware of what you're aware of. That's all it is to me. Then it's up to me on what? The reaction states, the chemical reaction states, my chemical messengers. When the magnets close on the planet, the speed at which those magnets are opening and closing, the speed of the circuits, the completion of a circuit, another circle of light, another circle of fire, right? How we react to the input. One computer speaking to another computer. The language that they use, which is the language of mathematics. So when you're under Founder's language mathematics, the music is great. That's the music that we play. That's the music that we listen to, which is called harmony, which is a tempo, which is called breathing speed. I'm breathing pure, absolute, eternal love energy. That means everywhere we go, it's all pure. The purest of worlds, the purest of realms, and those are known as God worlds. Those are the worlds we live in. That's our home. That's Christos Sophia. So I thought I'd clarify that a little bit because I know that when you look at a lot of my videos, I've mentioned names of people that I've met by virtue of the information that they were sharing with me that I passed on to you because of the information, the relevance of the information at the time that the information was experienced by another experiencer. Now that experiencer is communicating with me what they're aware of. Now I become aware of what they're aware of. Okay, so I get to choose on how I'm going to react to that, but it depends on the speed. Particularly when it comes to what? Transmutation. Because remember I mentioned this before when I was a kid and I had this Christos avatar up and running at age 4. Anything less than what I am is going to get transmuted. It'll be gone. So I've had to do some pretty huge memory dumps of stuff that doesn't represent the original codes, the original frequencies, the original mathematics of 0. Which is logic. Which is pure logic. Pure logic of cellular processors running pure logic or running pure fire. That's what allows us to transmute. That's called a firewall. That's called the shield of one. That's the shield of Adama. That's what I run. That's who I am. Have a beautiful day. We love you all. Be good to yourselves.